Welcome back to Couch Coach Sports, guys. We're back again. It's me, Dean. With me as always, Bjorn, brother. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent, my brother. And yourself? How's things been?
Always good, bro. Always good. Some lack of sports on the weekend. Was today Friday?
Friday,
So,
it's Friday.
It's tell the wife, listen, I'll be back Monday, but I'll be on the couch if you need me.
Don't worry, I'm easy to find.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a bit of a
But talking
boring
about
weekend though, because no Premier League, brother. It's an international break.
Yeah, bro, it's still something. What international games do we have coming up, bro?
We've got good ones. We've got, I think it was Portugal, Sweden was last night, but then we've got Spain, Germany. I think Spain, Germany's tomorrow night, which is quite a big one. England,
Yes.
Brazil, and England, Brazil tomorrow night.
Not bad.
Nice one.
But then staying on soccer, bro, let's make our video for today. So our video is going to be the most underrated Premier League team of the season.
Yep.
So yeah, it's pretty much explains itself. I'll talk about like my criteria thinking of this. So it's basically like guys who didn't have the biggest reputation before the season started, but have turned out to be like massive. Because obviously the English media and the world football media is pretty fast on like noticing who's playing well and giving them a good name in that. So my criteria is just thinking of guys who didn't maybe have the biggest reputation before the season.
I pretty much have the same criteria as you, but I do have quite a few big names in the team. I just think it's always, sometimes you get players that might have a semi-big name at the moment, but they just might not get the recognition they deserve, which I think there's some players that like fall, because maybe there's someone that's better in their position, or how it goes. Some players just don't get the recognition they deserve. So I did a bit of a mix between those two for my criteria.
Perfect, bro. So let's start, bro. Obviously, we'll check. Let's start with the 4-4-2 in mind.
Okay.
But if your team's different from my team, very different, we'll just put it up as your team versus my team. And
awesome.
to decide who wins.
It's gonna be pretty much the same. I just went for 4-3-3. So I've got 4 defenders, 3 midfielders, and 3 attackers. So yeah, we can work around it.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, cool. Then give me your goalkeeper and your 2 centre backs.
Okay, awesome. To start it off, I've got Bernd Leno, the Fulham goalkeeper, obviously a former Arsenal player. I just think Leno, he's a German international. He just doesn't get the recognition he deserves throughout the Premier League. I think he's still a top quality keeper. Fair enough, the Premier League's probably got the best keepers in the world. I mean, we've got the Allisons, the Edisons, David Raya even coming through the season. I just think Leno himself could possibly play for one of the top 6 sides. I mean, he could even play for Newcastle. Spurs before they signed Vicario could have been a good option for him. And even, I know you're quite a big Onana fan, but I think Leno would be a decent fit for Man United even. So I went with Bernd Leno as the goalkeeper. My 2 centre-backs, I went with Fabian Schär from Newcastle. He's another one. He used to be linked with all the big sides in the past, but now with Newcastle having the funds that they do, I think he'll probably stick around with Newcastle. Another one is a good goal-scoring defender as well, and he's just solid in defence. And then I've got Joachim Andersen, the Crystal Palace centre-back as well. I think he's another one that's probably going to be moving on this summer. You would likely to see him maybe even moving to Newcastle or possibly one of the big boys. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if a Spurs sign him or, it's like one of those teams. So for me, it's Bernd Leno, Fabian Schär, and Joachim Andersen to kick us off.
That's not bad, bro. Not bad. I went with Vicario in the goal. I think, bro, just so random that he just came there, bro. Now everyone was like,
like out of nowhere, yeah.
And also replacing Lloris, who in his own right, bro, is like kind of a semi-Premier League legend, bro. You know what I mean? He's been, if he had won something, maybe he'd be a legend, but he was there for so long. And then, like, if you think of how far back Spurs without Lloris, bro.
Yeah. It's what he's been there possibly like over the last decade even we've had Lloris for Spurs.
Bro.
So I mean he's been a mainstay in their side.
But his replacement Vicario has been insane, bro.
I also think so.
And I hate considering he's so much better than Onana, bro. And Onana came with such a big reputation, bro, compared to this guy. And he just outperforms Onana week after week, bro. So Vicario at the back. At my centre backs, bro, I went with Konza from Villa, bro.
Yeah, he's a solid player. For me, he should possibly be in the England team. But anyway, continue.
Yeah, bro. Solid.
Yeah.
Bro. I like him the way he plays. And then, bro, I went with Joe Gomez. I thought, you know what, he doesn't have like the biggest reputation, but he does a job at right back and centre back. You know what I mean? I think he's so important now, especially when Klopp struggles with a few injuries. Joe Gomez is like That if Joe Gomez was at United, he'd play every game. If he was at most of 90% of other Premier League teams, he'd play every game. So yeah, Joe Gomez and Ezri Konsa, bro.
Yeah, I don't think that's those are two bad shots. I mean, Joe Gomez, like you mentioned, I think playing behind the likes of Virgil van Dijk and Konate is very difficult to break into that side. So Joe Gomez, and he's been a solid player. He probably would have had a better career as well if he hasn't had the injuries that he's had throughout his career. So yeah, and Konza for me also top class centre back. I think he's another one that just doesn't get the shots he deserves, and I mean especially in the England setup, like compared to like the Harry Maguires and stuff, he should be way ahead of them in the England team. So yeah, I think that's pretty good start from you there, brother.
Okay, sweet, bro. So that's our centre backs. Let's move on to our
centre backs,
goalkeepers. Yeah, bro. So who have you got at your fullbacks, bro?
I think you're gonna be a bit upset with the ones I got at fullback. I got both the Arsenal boys. I got two Arsenal boys in the team.
Come on.
I've got Ben White at right back. I think he's just another one that's unlucky being behind Kyle Walker and Trent, but at least in the 2024 so far this calendar year, I think he's been the best fullback in the Premier League. I mean, he pops up with assists, so solid in the fence. I mean, the way he tracks back as well. He's been one of Arsenal's most consistent and best players since he signed for 50 million. And I remember when he actually joined the club for 50 million, I think that's around the time you guys signed Rafael Varane, Liverpool signed Konate, and there was all these memes going around about how Ben White being signed for 50 million was like the fucking robbery of the summer, and it should be like one of the worst players compared to what you guys have signed. But I think now throughout the years he's actually proven his worth, and he's proved that he's actually really a top class player. I know he's didn't go to the England setup because of himself. He kind of denied the opportunity to go there. But I think the caliber alone of the play is very, very good. And then another one is Alexander Zinchenko. Defensively, I don't rate Zinchenko that high. And I know as a defender, that's the main part of your game. But I think the way Arteta set up the team and how he drifts into, like he's an inverted fullback, how he drifts into midfield, there's almost not a better player in the world that can do what he can do for that role. So I think Zinchenko definitely for me is one of the best, if not the best attacking fullback in the world. Maybe just behind the likes of Alphonso Davies and those types. But I think, yeah, for me it's Ben White and Zinchenko in the fullback position.
Bro, but Ben White, don't you think he's like not that underrated, bro? Like considering he moved for 50 million and like he's always like seen as this England's next best thing. Obviously the situation is different.
But that's why I think he only went for 50 mil because he's English. If he wasn't English, he wouldn't have gone. And like I said, my reason behind it is just because of how highly like Kyle Walker and Trent get rated. And I don't think Ben White is far below them. I mean, he's definitely a better defender than Trent. I give it to you. Kyle Walker is probably the best fullback in the league. But Ben White's not far behind
Debatable,
him.
Bro. Debatable. Of late, bro. He gets exposed, bro.
He's still got the speed, yeah. That's the thing. He still has the speed. But who would you say then?
Yeah.
Who's your picks?
Diego Dallo, bro.
You can't be serious.
Bro, just think of underrated. Is he not the most underrated right back who actually does like put a performance in, bro?
But you guys are bad though.
No, not that bad, bro. And he's like at least one of our better players.
Why is it then that you guys are always looking to sign fullbacks every single year and next year?
But not, but not lately on the right, bro. Everyone's so happy about
Jeremy Frimpong from Bayer Leverkusen, so there must be a reason.
It's because we get injuries, bro. Look at the situation now. Wan-Bissaka's playing left back, bro.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't know about Dallo so much, but go ahead. Who's your left back?
Okay, but I chose Dallo because like it's Nathan Ake, bro. I think it's just because he's been playing there lately, and obviously he is a centre back, but he's filling a role that's not really his position, but he's doing it well, bro. Obviously, Man City are next level, but he fills a gap, bro. So I
fits that style,
this season. Just
Pep Guardiola style
like
perfectly.
You said, underrated. If I had told you Nathan Ake is gonna be exactly, and if I had told you Nathan Ake is gonna be a great left back this season, at the beginning of the season, you'd be like, nah, bro, come on, that's not gonna happen. And he's proved that wrong. One. Okay, bro, that's our fullbacks. So moving on to the midfielders. Give me your midfielders, bro.
This is one that you're going to be quite happy about. So I've got obviously 3 in midfield. CDM, I've got Scott McTominay from Man United.
Next source.
Yeah, I think he always pitches up with important goals, and he's just a solid player. I think he definitely does. He gets a lot more stick than he deserves. You could be possibly playing for a lot of the big teams in the league as well. And I think he's been a very, very solid player for you guys. Obviously, also homegrown talent coming out of through the Old Trafford Academy. So I think Scott McTominay definitely deserves a shot in this team. Pascal Gross is another one, the Brighton midfielder. I mean, he's been rocking up assists for the last couple of seasons as well, and he's been a huge part of Brighton's success. And then at Cam, I went with a bit of a forgotten man coming back this season is Ross Barkley from Luton. I think if it wasn't for Ross Barkley, Luton would probably be at the bottom of the table, and I just think Ross Barkley's been an excellent acquisition for them. What about yourself?
Well, I went with Douglas Luiz. I thought he has kind of a big reputation, but not like, let's say, what for me the perfect example is that he wasn't on our shopping list, you know, and we would have killed to have him in that team now, you know.
Arsenal were looking at him for 25 mil at the end of last season, but then Aston Villa obviously knew the potential he has.
Exactly, and you speak of that price, bro, 25 million.
And now he's valued at 100 mil. He's valued at 100 mil now.
Exactly, him. And the other one I went with James Ward-Prowse, bro. So it's super underrated, bro. But he just puts it together every game, bro. He's one of those never shines. Obviously, he does with the free kick, but always puts in a good performance. I like the way he plays Ward-Prowse, bro.
It's crazy to think that he doesn't make the England side ahead of Jordan Henderson, Calvin Phillips. I mean, these types of players. I know Kobe Mainoo, the Man United guy, has come through now, and he's going to be possibly taking up that role. But I mean, James Ward-Prowse is definitely better than Jordan Henderson and Calvin Phillips. I think James Ward-Prowse is a very good shot. He definitely doesn't get his flowers.
Exactly, bro. So that's our midfielders. You've got wingers, you do have wingers. So
I've got three up front. So I've got two wingers and one striker. Should I just give you my whole attacking front three?
No, just give me your wingers.
Okay, wingers. Another former United man on the left. I've got Anthony Elanga. He's at Forest now, obviously. And I think he's been such an important player for Forest with his speed and the ability to counter-attack. I think he would have been a perfect player for you guys this year. Especially we've seen that Rashford. I know you can come up with that screamer, that goal from out of nowhere, but I think Anthony Elanga would have been a more important player for you guys, especially with the way you guys play. So Anthony Elanga is definitely a shout for me. And then on the right, I've got Pedro Neto, the Wolves winger.
Oh yeah, solid.
He's been obviously very injury prone, but I know he's been linked with the likes of Arsenal, Man City since this season, and he's about second or third in the assist charts. So I think Pedro Neto definitely also deserves a shout in this underrated team. Who do you have on the wings?
For sure. On one wing, I've got another Anthony. Anthony Gordon.
At least you didn't say Anthony and just left it there. I thought you were going to leave it with Anthony from Man United.
I guess, bro. Not the fucking Anthony.
When you went quiet there, my heart sank. I don't even know. I was like, oh no, here we go.
Yeah, Anthony Gordon,
solid shot.
It's solid, bro. He's fucking good, bro. I wish he was at United, bro. And on the other wing, Jared Bowen, bro. So, Bowen, bro, is he in the squad, the English squad?
Yeah, he is in the England squad, but he's probably not going to play with Saka and Foden ahead of him. But I mean, he's one of the best finishers on the wing for sure. I mean, Jared Bowen, if he gets an opportunity to sniff a goal, there's possibly going to be a goal. Yeah, I don't mind both those.
A very good option, bro, from the bench.
But Anthony Gordon also in the side, also in the England team. So there's
he's also solid, bro.
Yeah, both those winners in the team. But like you said, they're probably going to start off the bench. But solid options there from you.
Exactly, and also guys get injured, bro. It's football, you know. These guys get injured so quickly. So up front, brother, I've got two. You got one. Give me your one.
So I've got one. Unfortunately, he's been a bit injured this season. But whenever he plays, he seems to be scoring goals, and that's Callum Wilson from Newcastle. We saw him during his Bournemouth days. Man used to slot in the goals all the time, and I mean, Bournemouth on a good team, so for him to stand out in that side is very good. And even with Newcastle, he's very consistent in front of goal. I think he's the old school poacher's finisher. He's very good inside the box, and he always seems, whether it's off the right, off the left, even with the head, he always just seems to tally up the goals. And I think this season, despite being injured, he's got about 7 or 8 goals in about 12 or 13 matches. So I think, Callum Wilson for me is definitely a good option up front.
For sure. I've got myself Isak and Ollie Watkins, bro. I think also interesting guys, like not given the biggest reputation of biggest goal scorers, but they do the job, bro. And for teams that, like, example, aren't expected to create too many opportunities, these guys put them away. Newcastle and Villa doing well in the Premier League, bro. And I think it comes down to the strikers taking their chances, you know.
And Ollie Watkins possibly could be player of the season this year. I mean, I think he scored 16 goals.
Bro,
And
it's
he's
so
got
close,
10
bro.
assists. So all around as a whole package, he's definitely going to be up there. A few teams, despite being 28, I think a few teams, the big boys, are going to be interested in him. I know Villa also slapped a 100 million price tag on Watkins. But that's what you want to pay if you want the goals in the Premier League. So yeah, Ollie Watkins is another good one. And Isak as well. Isak was highly linked with Arsenal before his move to Newcastle. I think it was like a 75 million pound move. Surprisingly, I heard reports this week again that Man United and Arsenal both interested in signing Isak this coming season for about 80 to 90 mil, which is a lot of money for a youngster. But I mean, in the Premier League, he's Premier League proven. He scored big goals against Man City this year as well. So he's another one that I think is going to have a big career ahead of him.
Yeah, bro. I say it's crazy, but if you think of the price tag and like you think of guys who, let's say, are a level above him and their price tag, example, Osimhen, you're not getting him for less than, let's say, 120.
Yeah.
You think, who else, bro? Even I think Lewandowski, if you want Lewandowski, you're going to be paying 80 million for him, bro.
And Isak's still young. Isak's only like 22, 23, I think. Maybe a bit older now.
Exactly.
Might be wrong there. But he's still definitely younger than Watkins, Lewandowski's of the world. So, I mean, if you sign him for 100 mil and he's actually like a solid player, he's with you for the next decade, that's 10 mil a year. That actually works out very nicely. Obviously, it's a risk, but I mean, all business is a risk.
Exactly, bro. But then give me your full team, and then we'll mention some guys that maybe could have made the team who just maybe get popped out.
Okay, so I'll run it down from the beginning. So as per mine, obviously it was a 4-3-3. Bernd Leno in goal, Fulham. Then I've got down the fullbacks. I've got Ben White and Alexander Zinchenko. Centre backs Fabian Schär, Joachim Andersen. My midfield is Scott McTominay, Pascal Gross, and Ross Barkley. Then down the wing, I've got Pedro Neto and Anthony Elanga. And for my striker, I've got Callum Wilson. Who's yours?
I've got Vicario in goal, Joe Gomez, Ezri Konza in the middle, Diego Dallo at the right, Nathan Ake on the left, James Ward-Prowse next to Douglas Luiz, Jared Bowen on the right, Anthony Gordon on the left, and Alexander Isak and Ollie Watkins up front, bro.
Solid team, bro. I think those would be a pretty competitive match if they had to go against each other. Who's your honorable mentions there?
Bro, but difficult considering like we got two teams here. Like I was thinking of McTominay, but you obviously said that. But keeping with my mindset of before the season not being around, I think like we spoke about, Kobe Mainu has come in and literally changed the United team, bro. He's been insane, bro. So he's definitely one. Bro, yeah, that's all I can think of. And yourself, bro?
I've got Konza was also one of my choices. Actually, he was down my third or fourth choice for getting picked in the side. But I also got Lokonga from Luton, another one that's playing in a very poor team. But I know Jurgen Klopp even was talking about Lokonga being loaned from Arsenal this season, and he was astounded that Arsenal actually loaned him out because of the quality that he has. Another one that I think doesn't get enough recognition is probably James Garner from Everton, the former Man United player. I think he's a solid Premier League player. I don't think he's going to be a top 6, top 8, or maybe a top 8 style player, but he could easily fill in at Newcastle because Bruno Guimaraes probably is going to leave soon. And I could definitely see a James Garner move in there. And then another one from Everton is Amadou Onana, the midfielder.
Bro, I like him.
He's so big, he's so strong. He can definitely fill a role for any team. Also, he can play the defensive midfield or a bit more attacking. Very good on the ball. Obviously, with his height, he's good in the air as well. So, yeah, for me, it's definitely Onana. It's definitely another one to look out for in the future.
Yeah, bro. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed that, please leave a like. Please subscribe and share. It helps us out a lot.
Please,
and
guys.
until next time, guys, it's been your Couch Coach Sports. Again, your Couch Coach Sports coaches. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.